Fizer. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Profoundly Speaking. Hope that your day was lovely. Hope that your week was profound. And I pray that your intentions were fulfilled. Now, God isn't about answering week by week expectations. We are eternal beings. And we're just designed to live our lives and journey. I know we have daily expectations for the supernatural to happen, but God's timing with our lives are never based on 24-hour occurrences of our life. But his miraculous movements are connected to our eternal design. And sometimes we have to be patient and allow our eternal design to live out its course. I know we're living 24/7. We live day to day, 365, and we have great expectations for every day. But according to the eyes of God and the timing of God, he looks at himself through you. And he looks at his life. Good evening. He looks at you through the fullness of time within himself, with an eternal desire and an eternal clock. So I pray that you guys have been living efficiently and sufficiently. Hello. Hey, am I heard well? I'm talking to you over the internet and Wi-Fi. Is everything? Oh, God, my wife has a park there, and they're working on my yard outside there. So if you hear the lawnmowers, that's the yard folks in our yard already. So we thank God for them making the yard pristine and stuff like that. But they're not doing it for free. And so it's pretty cool. But yeah, I pray that you've been living intentional and not just living so you won't be taught anything new when the teaching comes, so you could say, oh, okay, I was there. But be patient and live. Whatever ugly is exposed in your journey, just let it be exposed and live. Keep living, keep evolving, because the kingdom will reveal what's good and what's bad and what's questionable. He's going to always reveal something as we release layers of our life. So take courage. And if you see something that's broken, don't stop and throw everything away. Just keep living, keep living. God is straightening everything out. You are straightening everything out. Just chill out. You are straightening things out, even if they're not straight right now. Stay open for instruction and principle. Stay open. Don't just hear one principle and master it and think it's answered all of your problems. No, keep growing, keep eating, keep exercising, keep moving forward. Don't grow weary in well-doing, for you will reap in due season if you faint not. And no, God is not promising this and that. He's not promising what you could get on your own. But he's letting you know, keep moving. Stop mastering things in order to stop doing things. So that's how a lot of us gain weight. We'll go on a diet and try to lose weight. We'll lose 15 pounds and say, oh, okay. And once you can button your blouse, you stop. You stopped as soon as you could button your blouse. You stopped as soon as you went down a size. No, just keep doing powerful things. Write that down. Continue in doing powerful things. Continue in practicing powerful things. Don't lift up just enough weight to get by. Continue practicing excellence of faith and the power of the Spirit, because that's who you are. Continue doing it. Don't just do a little bit of it and get a celebration and get a celebrate, and before you know it, you're done. Keep doing it. Write that down. Keep going. Keep doing it. And you're not doing it to get a prize. You're doing it because that's who you are. Keep breathing. You just don't say, well, you know what, I'm tired of breathing today. No, keep living, keep practicing, keep doing it. Don't do it to get a pat on the back. Do it because that's who you are. Do good because you are good. Do right because you are right. Do it because you are a son of God. Don't do it to get applauded for it. Don't do it just so someone can say you're doing good. Do good because good is who you are. Do what you are. Do what you are. Keep living who you are. And whoever you're not, you can stop being that. You can stop being that imposter. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. I wrote something a few minutes ago and put it on Facebook, and I won't hold you long. I had to get over the fear of what other people would see in me once they saw me thriving and walking on my own. Because there was a time I was always a victim and laying on the ground. And when people begin to know you for being somebody laying on the ground, they have no expectations of you. When people begin to accept you in their life as the one that's laying on the ground, when people begin to accept you in their time as the one that's laying on the ground, when people begin to factor you into their mindset and their circle as the one who's laying on the ground, and they always have to pick you up, there is no expectation or demand. I had to get accustomed to living an expectation of demand when once there was no demand on my life. How many of you know what I'm talking about? That was the thing I had to get over, the fear of how people would see me embracing a demand. Because when you don't feel that people expect something out of you, they're going to expect you to fall at the first sign of expectation. So they don't give you none. They just watch you walk. And that was one of the things I had to get over in my life, the fear of how people would see me thriving. How would I feel if you don't have to pick me up anymore? Oh, what you gonna say if you don't have to pick me up anymore because you're expecting to pick me up? You're expecting to pick me up off the ground. You're expecting to get me because I'm going to be down because that's my MO. He's down. You got to encourage me. You got to bring extra to me because I'm on the ground. Nobody's expecting nothing spectacular out of me. Nobody's expecting nothing average out of me. No one's expecting anything out of me. And the fear that I had to get over is how people would see me once I was standing up, walking. Because you know they're waiting for you to fall down. And you can feel the energy of people who are waiting for you to fall down to the point you almost slip. Your legs are shaking because you expect to fall down, because now you are becoming more intentional. I'm going to put myself out front so someone can put an expectation of demand on me. I'm going to demand of myself. That was the biggest demon I had to fight. It wasn't the devil. It wasn't an attack. It was how I thought of myself. When you discover the kingdom, you discover a new love of yourself. You stop saying, ain't nobody loving me like I love them. No, you stop looking for a tithe and you start looking for the original love. You stop looking for same love, because sometimes the love you're giving others and they're not giving back is really not love you're giving them. You're bribing them with love and wanting them to bribe you back. You are flattering them and they're not returning the favor. You are not loving them. You're using them to respond to you and you're calling it love. See, when you're accustomed to laying on the ground all the time, you're the victim. In some sort of way, people who are lazy and procrastinative and always a victim, they always make themselves right and everybody else is wrong. I'm right. God told me. And before you know it, they're making God an ego God, a God of ego, a God that's watching over them and keeping the vultures from getting them as they lay on the ground. And it's like, no. As soon as you discover the kingdom, you begin to get on your feet. And it says, beat the plowshares. I believe it's Joel 3:10. Beat the plowshares and let the weak say I'm strong. And you was looking for that verse that said, and let the poor say I'm rich. But that's not in there. It says, let the weak say I'm strong. Let the weak say I am strong. And once you begin to discover the kingdom and you begin to say you're strong, you begin to get up from the ground and you begin to intentionally walk in the face of the atmosphere, learning and being intentional to walk in expectations and demand. I want a demand on me, not from another, but from myself. I want a demand. I'm not afraid for God to put something on my back. I'm not afraid for God to say, be here at this time. And sometimes we're so afraid that we're going to fail the instruction till we never do the instruction. We would rather not have the instruction because we already think we're going to be distracted with the instruction. How many of you know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be told what to do based on who tells me. The nature of the influence makes me afraid to carry the bag of the influencer. The nature of the influence makes me afraid because I know I'm going to fail. Don't tell me to do it because I don't want to mess up. And sometimes you feel you're going to mess up so bad till you never do anything at all. That was my biggest fear. And I got up and I said, I'm going to do it. I got up on my feet. I'm strong. And I just didn't say it to myself. I got up on my feet and I expected a demand. I walked in an expectation that I was going to make it to the other side. How many of you know what I'm talking about? How many of you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not talking because it's Sunday. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. I got over the fear of how I would be seen thriving. So I had to learn to stop prepping the audience for me. Stop prepping them to expect less. Stop prepping them to expect less. I'm sick. I didn't study. I just got it. You don't want them to judge me. Let me tell you something. When you accept your purpose, you want them to judge you. Judge me. See, if you don't know who you are, judgment and criticism is going to make you stop. But when you know who you are, I want you to judge me. You judge me. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You only don't want people to say nothing about you when you can't say nothing about you. When you have yet to say something good about you, you don't want nobody else to speak nothing about you. Judge me. Judge me. And they can call it pride and arrogance all they want. Judge me. In other words, I'm not afraid to let you look at me and come up with an opinion. I'm not afraid to let you see me and think what you... See, when you know what you are, not just who you are today, but when you know why you are this. See, it's impossible to just know who you are without doing who you are. Some of us just want to know who we are without expectation of the man. I just want to know who I am so I can feel safe. No. In order to know who you are, you have to know why you are. Oh yeah, when you know why you are and when you begin to do who you are, you begin to be open to the critiques and the criticism and the judgment of people. So it's like, yeah, you can judge me. You can think I'm wrong. You can wait for me to fail in it if you want. You can if you want. You understand what I'm saying? That was the fear I had to get over once people saw me off the ground. Because I had grew so accustomed to not having a demand of expectation on me, anything would be good. When nobody expects nothing from you, anything is good. When I don't expect nothing from you, a mistake is good. And sometimes we want to live so low that if we do anything, people will applaud. No, I want you to hold me and have an expectation of me that reaches the standard of my potential. I don't want you to applaud anything from me. I want you to hold me to a demand that's connected to the degree of my potential. Because if I do nothing, someone just turning a corner and changing a position is an applaud. You sat up. Anything is good. I don't want anything to be good. Okay, and I'm about to end. See, I had an angle on it, right? There was a certain angle I had towards this. I don't want anything to be applauded. I want you to expect what you see. Hold me accountable to what you see. Because some of us are greater than we imagine. Our potential is greater than we've shown. So I don't want to applaud somebody merely opening the door. I know you have the capacity to build a house. And sometimes we don't want people to encourage all of our capacity. Because we have lowered the bar so much that any movement is good. Raise the bar. You are the temple of God. You and I are the result of the mastermind called God. No, you and I both. You and I both are byproducts of unlimited intelligence. God made me the way I am, and he said, I can't do better. God made me and didn't allow me to live a little bit through my years to see what to add on. He finished me before I was born. He finished all of me and said, I can't do no more with this. This is it. He exhausted himself in you and I. So God is not letting us live and watching us and knocking the kinks out. Whatever kinks we have or what we added to ourselves. Whatever kinks that need to be worked out or kinks that we picked up along the way. But God never created you and I with weights on us. Write that down. God never created us with curses on us. God never created us with weights on us. God never created us in the middle of a generational curse. I don't care how my mom and daddy acted. I don't care how my grandmother, my grandfather, and everybody, I don't care how all my greats acted. God never created me with a curse on me. God didn't create me perfect and allowed me to enter into the semen of my father, which was placed in the uterus of my mother. And then I came out of her birth canal into sin. No, God never created me with weights on me. God never created me with sin on me. God never created me with weights on me and curses on me. I'm clear. I'm perfect. God never created me with none of that. And so when I arrived here, that was put on me through other people's decisions. And so when God looks at you and me, he sees the same perfection that he made in his heart before the foundation of the world. When God looks at us all, he sees the same perfection. Regardless of what this life has taught you, and regardless of what clothes you picked up during this life, when God sees me, he sees the same perfect specimen he made before the foundation of the earth, with no generational curse, no financial curse, no sex curse, no molesting curse, incest curse, no curse. Whatever people can't forgive of you and I, God never created what nobody can forgive. God never created you unforgiven. God created you totally forgiven, totally clean. Do you hear what I'm saying? And we have grown accustomed to living so less of ourselves till nobody expects us to do anything. So no, I'm not just going to volunteer to do little. I'm going to live the demand of my life. And you don't have to put it on me. Because I come from God, I'm going to put it on me. And I'm going to thrive and I'm going to walk on my own 2 feet. I'm going to put it on me. And I'm not going to put any condemnation on me. I'm not going to put on no overwhelming conviction on me. I'm going to put love on me. And I'm not going to live condemned. I'm going to live the love of myself. Because I love myself too much to condemn myself, even when I find wrong in myself. I love myself too much to condemn myself, even though I've wronged myself. I love myself too much to condemn myself, even when I discover wrong in myself. Because I love myself too much to hate myself. Because God is love. And I come from God. And I am who God is. God makes himself. And because God made me to be who he is, I love myself too much to hate myself, even when I find ugly in myself. And when I find ugly in myself, I'm going to keep loving me till I love myself out of that ugliness. I'm going to love myself delivered. I'm going to love myself delivered. I'm going to teach if I need deliverance. And I'm going to teach so good, I'm going to find deliverance in what I'm teaching myself. I'm going to love myself so much that when I teach myself, I'm going to be delivered by the gospel that I preach to myself. I love myself so much that even if I feel average, I'm going to teach myself and preach myself to perfection. I'm going to preach myself to uncommon valor. I'm going to teach myself to invincibility. I'm going to do it even if I need deliverance. Because I love myself so much, I'm going to preach to my undelivered self until I'm delivered. I love myself so much, Mary, that even if I feel lost, I'm going to preach myself fine. I love myself so much that I'm going to preach myself out the ditch. I love myself so much, I'm gonna teach myself to see when I'm blind. I love myself so much, I'm gonna love the sight back in me. I love myself so much, I'm gonna love the faith back in my body. I love myself so much because I come from God and I can't help but love me. I'm gonna love myself out of poverty. I'm gonna love myself out of poverty. I'm gonna love myself out of fear. I'm gonna love myself because I am what God is. God made me to be what he is. And I love myself so much that the love that I'm loving God with, I'm going to love me with. Because how could I love a God I've never seen with all my heart? But I see me every day. And if I never saw God with my own eyes, when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm looking at God. And when I love myself with all of my heart, I'm loving God with all of my heart. And I'm going to love myself till I deliver myself out of the clutches of the enemy. I'm going to love myself out of the hands of the enemy. For blessed are the pure in heart. And when I declutter all of that BS out of my life, the more pure I become in me, the more I'm going to see what God is. How could I love someone I never seen with all of my heart? How could I love God I've never seen him, but hate those I look at every day? And it's not a matter of hate my neighbor. I'm my neighbor. How could I not love God who I've never seen and hate me, who I look in the mirror and see every morning? And because I love myself, I'm going to put myself in a good position. Because whatever you love, you protect. And if you hadn't protected your life from mismanagement, you haven't loved yourself. But you're going to do better. You are going to do greater. I'm Undrai Fizer. Hey, if you want to sow, go to our Cash App, $ Coach Fizer. That's right, you are your own neighbor. And love yourself, love your neighbor as yourself. Go to $ Coach Fizer and give whatever you desire, whatever's in your heart to give. Or if you're on the app, go inside the app to invest financially. That's PayPal, and sow whatever you want because it's good. Because it's good. Whatever you love, you protect. That's right. I love myself so much, I'm not going to let depression overwhelm me. I'm going to preach my own deliverance. That's what you do. You encourage yourself. I'm Undrai Fizer. Peace.